All right, everybody, we are back. I am here with Conrad Bassett-Bouchard and Morris Green for the exciting conclusion of the Crescent City Cup. We're going to be taking you to the Collins division once again. A coin was flipped to determine which division, and it's going to be Collins, and we are thrilled about that because this is going to be a great matchup. A reprise of last round, which was a really awesome game between Dave Wiegand and Evans Clinchy, and the game is underway.
And they both have crappy wrecks.
So I was gonna wait. I was gonna try to tease this little contest I'm doing. I know now you have a rack's worth of information to use, but I'll give like 30 more seconds to put in your bids of what will be the final score, winner and score, and the winner will get a prize from me, and I'll be writing down those.
How about we do it before Dave makes his first play?
Before Dave makes his play. You don't have much time, but rack is kind of weird, so you might have a little time to think about it. So get in those score predictions now for an excellent prize. You can look up in the chat for some of your options of your prize.
I feel like Dave just picked up where we left off because he has Lauren again.
I know.
And will now play
Orlan
this time. He will play Orlan this time.
So let's see.
I predict Will is going to win the game.
Wow. Well, that is a bold prediction. We'll see if you're proven right. Yeah, I guess Orlan, I don't know. Boy, it's kind of uninspiring, but nothing's going to be good. So Orlan's fine. Fortunately for Dave, Evans has not much as well. So
I could see Folia coming down, and then Dave has the hook, and oh god,
and he's got a good. Wow, that's going to be.
Oh god, and look where it would go. Look where it would go.
Double. Yeah, it would be bad news if Evans plays Folia, which does look like it's the runaway best equity play. That's just a case of making the right play and having it not work out. But then again, Dave is bingoing no matter what, pretty much. Yeah. So.
And it looks like he has a NOLA set up on his rack actually right now. Maybe he's considering that as well. Oh no, but he goes with Folia.
But he ultimately.
He was just teasing us.
Yeah.
Okay, and this next play is going to go down real fast. I'm assuming. I'm trusting Dave to find Milters here for 95
Dave,
points.
The bang with the bang.
Jackson Smiley declaring this to be a GG moment.
Well, he would be
definitely
completely.
Agree with that. The game is basically over.
Yeah, he'd be totally wrong, of course, because
Evans
drew a bingo.
Yeah. I mean, our response always is variance, right?
Yeah, variance.
Yeah, that was a joke, of course. It's still very early. Evans is back. Dave could draw badly. There's all types of fun that can ensue here.
I once got away with inaction before it was good in TWL as a phony at this tournament.
Wow.
Trying to keep track of some of these predictions, which I will allow out of till the last. Now predictions are closed.
Yeah, it looks like Paul Gallen was the last one to.
Yeah, I'm going back to Paul, and anything prior to that will be included.
So Dave drew another bingo, but does not play?
Doesn't look like it right now, at least. Is inaction the only bingo Evans has right now?
I mean, he has Aconite, plays for like.
Oh, right.
Zilch, but...
Oh, yeah. But he's going for inaction.
A man of inaction. Wow, Dave did draw Diodara. Oh, my. Okay.
Oh, Evans, what are you doing?
Wow. That's a tough draw for Evans. Dave is a little bit ahead of Evans right now in terms of his rack quality, just because he's going to make a play that leaves something good, whereas Evans is going to struggle to do that. But it is a basically even game with maybe a slight edge to Dave. So lots of play to come. What should Dave play? I guess Oda. I don't know. That seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, Oda seems very reasonable here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a wide open board, and I think both of them.
These guys
prefer
love
that, certainly.
They thrive on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Although often often with these sorts of boards where a lot of bingos come down right away and really take a lot of space up on the board, right? It's really expanded out. By the end of the game, it could be somewhat hard to create more spots.
Yeah, but like Orlons or something, that's going to hang around a while, I think.
That's true. Orlons should be available for a while. So it'll be interesting to see how this board kind of develops. It's somewhat tough to tell immediately, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, in general, you'd probably give a slight edge to Dave on a wide open board just because they both love the open boards.
It'll be interesting to see whether any players play therapy. Send that to the triple.
Therapy Orlon.
Odds are a little lower at this point of that happening. Okay, so we kind of like that play. Pretty basic rack balancer that also leaves plenty of spots on the board to play a bingo if he were to draw it. Probably likeliest being on top of Orlon with like an ED type word. Given that Evans is likelier to play through an action right now, if he can. It turns out he's going to be hard pressed to do that. What should he do? Guess he could play.
He could play Pubis.
He could play Pubis. Yeah, that he could play. He could exchange.
Or Pinus.
Cesar is saying the exact mature thing you would expect.
Great at the moment suggestion. Yeah, by Cesar. Thank you for that.
I was willing to bet money that Cesar Pinus. And I approve.
So we like Evans's play. Dave drew very poorly to his leave of read. He drew EII. I guess he has that is a rack that yields at least 1/8 that I could think of, but it doesn't play.
And then Evans, meanwhile, is continuing to draw vexing racks.
Yeah, at least that one looks a little better than the previous one. But not a great rack by any means.
But yeah, still just turns away from being able to, like, bingo or something.
But both players have good timing in the sense that they're both struggling at the precise same time, and they're basically racing to get out of this clunk and into something good and try to take command of the game. So they picked good times to be slogging because they're both in the same boat pretty much. So options for Dave here, I guess he could play Taid down from the T of Milters. That leaves, AER is about as good as he's going to get, and it scores almost as well as he can. I guess he could play Repaid through the P.
I think Repaid's maximum points, but
nice to keep a consonant if you can, of course, with so many options
and with AER, there's no reason not to take the aggressive positioning with putting the D there.
Yeah, that's a great set of 3 letters to go with that D. So you're happy to see that letter there.
He could do Pied alternatively, and that's actually simming.
Yeah, Dave's got the letters. You can see he's set the letters up for Taid, which I think he'll go with. Pied is interesting. You sacrifice a little bit of, it's a little more volatile. It's hard to say what will bingo more between Taid and Pied. It's possible that Pied will bingo slightly more, but when you don't bingo, you do way.
Right. And Dave actually goes with Taid.
It actually turns out, I would imagine that Taid also bingos more, but I don't know. It's hard to, maybe on some boards.
He has aroma!
He has aroma.
He drew aroma 1 game too late. Yeah, so for anyone just joining us now, just a quick recap of the last game between these two players. Evans opened with the word therapy with the E on the star, meaning the entire game. Either player could have extended therapy with 5 letters to the triple for 66 points at almost, a minimum of maybe 60, 65 points. But it never quite materialized. So now 1 game too late, Dave has drawn aroma.
Yes, and actually, aroma therapy was one of the highest scoring ones because it put the M on the double letter there.
Right.
So it's even more than.
There has never been so much salt in my life for this moment.
Yeah, it was just wide open the whole game. So All right, Evans has tucks in the upper corner. It looks like a reasonable way to score a lot. Doesn't leave well, but that's okay. Nothing is likely to do that on this turn for him. So it seems like a normal play, I guess. I guess you have to live with the reparallels off of that potentially scoring a ton because this board is just wacky right now. It's just totally open, all types of opportunities, scoring maybe not as much as bingoing. So if you play tucks, that might be the best. But either way, you pretty much have.
I mean, tucks. Some of the time, Evans is going to get draw an E and play something down there himself next turn anyway. So.
Sure. Yeah, no question.
So back to Dave.
Oh, he doesn't have roulette. I thought he might have had. He needs another T for that. But yeah, Dave's gonna have. Does he have a good playmaking axe? I don't think so. I know Nur is good.
Yeah, it's our area, but
yeah, so you could play area, but that's so
weird.
I mean, it's not the worst idea, right? I guess. Could you play?
It's not ideal.
You could play opera.
No, it doesn't look good. Yeah. Oh, what's this? Oh, opera leaving AMO. That's okay.
I saw Amoeba before. I meant to mention that.
Oh yeah, Amoeba. That looks great. Leaving OR. Yeah, you're not going to leave better than just OR.
Or Roomba.
Balance, right?
Play Roomba.
Roomba, nice. So meanwhile, as Dave struggles through this rack, he'll probably try to get off as many vowels as he can. Evans has drawn a whole bunch of clunk still, and then a blank too. So that's pretty good. So tough to say who's, quote unquote, in the lead here in terms of winning percentage. It seems to be mostly an even game. I had thought that Dave was maybe slightly, closer to getting something in his favor on that Oda Pubis exchange, but now he's just not drawn well enough. So,
yeah,
pretty even. Yeah, the 9-timers are really, there's a ton of them that you might see. They're really close on this particular rack. Like
he has a Roma lined up.
Really, it feels like the T, another T, would just give him a whole bunch of this round.
Sure.
So I don't think you can really fish for one just because if you don't hit it right, I don't know, what would you even do? Fish AO or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, really Aura, the Aura for 11.
Yeah, none of that. That's all like flashy play syndrome for sure. You just have to kind of proceed normally. And if you redraw one, that's great, but it's much more likely that you're just going to hit a regular bingo than that. Especially because Evans is going to block it anytime he has a good scoring letter that goes after new, and then an E, there's going to be a big score coming down there that blocks it. So
yeah. Still pro Amoeba. It looks like he did find it.
He's got the letters for Amoeba in his hands, and there they go. Good job, Dave. Not surprising. Once again, he figured out the best combination of points and leave. And hopefully he'll get a draw that does a little more for him than his last few. Oh, is Aura doing well? I wonder.
Yeah, Aura's simming really well.
If it just hits the triple that often.
Yeah, I mean...
That's intriguing. Yeah, I mean, it sure does look like a lot of letters can go there.
But that's sort of the problem with Quackle, right? Because it's basing the sim on a static plays for the next turns, and a lot of times the statically best play is not going to be in the top right.
Yeah, also, I think if Dave were to play Aura, it would just set off such alarm bells for Evans that if he had any reasonable play that went there, he would block it more often than normal. Dave did get that nicer draw that we were hoping for him.
Yeah.
But no triples.
No.
Is that true? Wow, okay.
Seems possible Evans would block here anyway, right?
Well, it looks like, hi, Mac. Mac has a suggestion in the chat that maybe he does something
Oh, Max sees gasometer as a non-bingo triple.
No, it is.
no,
No,
that is
it's a
bingo. Oh my
9.
god.
That would be a bingo.
I did not even wow.
So that would be quite amazing if we see that, and if anyone were in a position to see it and play it, it would be Dave, I think.
I mean, he would know the 9s and TW all that well, so
Absolutely.
yeah, would not surprise me. And it seems
It
likely
wouldn't-
that Evans would play Viand or something, or Bunt.
Yeah,
Evans
flips
plays bunt. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Am I missing something that he wouldn't play Viand?
No, I much prefer Viand. It scores a bunch more and gets that V off. Not
Oh,
that VT is.
Oh, he saw it immediately. He saw it immediately.
Oh my god!
Fun.
He may have even seen it faster than Mac did.
I think we have. I think we have our confirmation. Pick the correct game.
And this is why anybody who thought we should stream the other game was
Yeah,
completely incorrect.
that is so good. I mean, that's why he's Dave Wiegand. That is Dr. Bing right there, everybody.
Yeah, I bow.
What can you say? That was just awesome.
I have no words. Well, I have one word: gasometer. Gasometer.
Yeah, gasometer, I guess. I mean,
and look at Evans's rack also now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's drawn poorly. I mean, of course, that was obviously not what Evans wanted to see, but there's still a lot of opportunity on the board for a comeback. It just got ugly for him very quickly, of course.
Look, if
So,
if you're Evans and you're gonna lose this game, like, how do you want to lose the game? To like
technically
Melters or to like gasometer?
Yeah, I think you would prefer it to be that.
Yeah, if I'm gonna lose, just go all gasometer on me, and like that's great.
Yeah. Did Evans even challenge that?
No, I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. It seems like Evans is. I mean, I know for a fact that Evans knows a chunk of the 9s. He may be very confident in that word.
He's definitely studied the 9s that far.
Yeah, so he's probably cool with that as a word for sure. Which, of course, also, I mean, not that it might not be worth 5 points if you're not sure, but Dave probably had 50 bingos playable in that turn, so he would have had to be insane if he were fabricating that word.
I would like to point out, and unfortunately, Mac won't be able to get this one with 100% certainty, but gasometer has a anagram in Collins.
Wow.
It's gettable, but it's Collins only.
Have to mull that over for a bit.
Yeah.
All right, Evans dumps his Vs just to proceed with the game. That's obviously, he's going to need a lot of help and need it in a hurry if he's going to come back, especially because Dave is going to play a big power tile play with Quiz.
Oh, Megastore got added. I take it back. I was looking up in the wrong column.
Megastore. Wow, gasometer, Megastore. Great pair.
It was formerly not TW. I apologize.
Well, that's still a cool combination no matter what lexicon it's a part of. So I'm betting we see Quiz here to put Dave up by a heck of a lot. It's going to be tough. But Evans does have
Dave Wiegand.
Yeah, Wiegand. Right. He's got that blank, so he'll at least get one bingo, and maybe he gets a run of them and gets back in the game. Stranger things have happened. So,
yeah, and as Conrad pointed out earlier, that Orline spot is still somewhat tough to block. So that's a lane that could be available for a while. The R and gasometer could be available for a fair amount of time, and the top left portion of the board is almost untouched at this point, so he could create some stuff there as well. So there definitely is some opportunity for Evans to be able to score later on.
Yeah, and also the underneath Quiz now. I mean, coming down from that D, throw an A or an O there.
I'm not seeing a bingo that Evans has here. Let me just confirm that.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't say any more because apparently I accidentally trolled the comment room by only looking through the P.
You're getting trolled by Eric Tran about your pseudo accidental trolling. You're getting meta trolled.
So yeah, Evans doesn't have a playable bingo. Of course, he's going to have to do his due diligence and look for a little bit because at this point he really badly needs there to be one. So he'll look, and unfortunately it'll be to no avail because there isn't anything, and he'll just have to hope that he gets going with a flurry of bingos in a hurry. But it really does not look good. We've already seen.
Flurry of bingos in a hurry. I like that.
Is that a little rhyming phrase? I didn't even mean to do that. So
poetic.
Yeah, not looking good for Evans. As Cesar pointed out, Quackle says 99.48 to win. Seems about right.
Yeah.
With the lead and some good letters in reserve.
Yeah, and often in a live game that could be somewhat off because a human opponent won't play as perfectly as Quackle. Dave Wiegand might play better than Quackle.
Yeah.
In those live games. So
yeah, he's one of those that might. So.
Oh, he's going to try always.
That is a defensible choice, to be honest, just because he, like I said, he really needs that bingo now.
And it could be good in Collins. Like that's kind of around the area I think that he knows.
Dave's tiles go down. Obviously, getting challenged, it'll come off. So I really have no, quibble with Evans trying that.
Yeah,
seems like this is the time to go for it, and it's not going to work out, and that's pretty much going to seal it for Dave. So
yeah.
The chat wants to know on the update of Benji versus Mike Baker, if possible, can someone in the playing room, one of our sideline reporters, could they give us an update?
So what I would say from games being decided just from tile draws, Nigel Richards, the best player in the world, has somewhat, I guess, maybe famously said, 25% of the time you're going to draw some tiles, you're probably not going to lose. This is for two players who are equally skilled. 25% of the time you're going to draw tiles that suck, and you're just going to have very little chance of winning. It's about what you can do with those other 50%. That's how I would answer that question, and that's kind of how I approach it myself.
Yeah, and just to add to that, with this game specifically, the question was posed like how much would this game be decided from tile draws? I would say very little, in the sense that very, very few people would see Gasometer as a triple, right? So the reason that Dave is winning by as much as he is because he knows words that 99% of players cannot see or find, right? If he had played the normal play of Garrett's or something, right? I don't even know where, some normal 7, he wouldn't be up by nearly as many points. He'd still be up and probably be winning, but it wouldn't be the foregone conclusion that it is. Evans wouldn't have had to try that bingo. The game would be totally different, and it's all because Dave so quickly, that was what's most impressive, saw the by far best play available on his turn with Gasometer. So obviously tile drawing, yes, Dave did get that blank before Evans got his, definitely matters, but I would definitely give Dave the credit for this, not the tiles.
Yeah. And I think Evans would have found it too, which is even cooler because two of the few people who would find that are playing in this game, and you see Evans gives him that respect without even challenging.
Yeah, that's amazing points. Too. Yeah, it's such a small tax to pay if you're not. And there are a lot of times where, over time, if you're really sure of the words and you don't give away those 5 points, every now and then you're going to win a game that you would have lost otherwise. So it does add up over time. The long run, just like other games like poker or whatever else, the better players win out.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing. In the short term, it can suck because Scrabble is very brutal in short sample sizes at times, but in the long run, you'll be okay if you know the words like Dave does and play like Dave does, or like Evans does.
And of course, these two are the top 2 seeds in this tournament, and the third seed, Austin, I think is very close to third place.
Yeah, pretty chalk-like there. TWL, not so much, but I wouldn't read too much into that because there's plenty of TWL that I've bid to or followed that wind up almost exactly the same way. So
yeah, yeah. You have
anyway,
a bigger division. The larger the division is, 20 games. Really, 20 games isn't enough.
Yeah, give it another 10, and I think it starts to look more like the seedings.
Yeah.
So anyway,
for sure.
Just to keep the game flow going, Dave challenged all the ways and played Risty in that top part of the board, which I think is especially a good play because it blocks so much. It blocks the Vav's hook and it blocks the line underneath Gasometer all in one swoop. So I love that play from Dave, especially knowing that Evans has the second blank.
Yeah. And one other thing that it does that some people forget about is it plays off 6 tiles. And as you build up more and more of a lead and the amount of tiles in the bag start dwindling, it really becomes a nice thing to do to play a lot of tiles off because it makes it so much harder for Evans to bingo multiple times.
Yeah, really good point. Get the game over with and get out of Dodge with a tournament victory is Dave's thinking. This is going to be Dave's first multi-day tournament that he's ever won. He's won like 1,000. Just a joke.
I'm trying to see which one of Evans or Dave has won this tournament more. They both played in the Collins division all 7 years. Along with Chris Leiper, the only 3 who hold that distinction.
Oh, there's Evans plays Wive, which is just in that quadrant. So, and also, I guess, make an S hook that he has the case blank. There are no S's left. So, even down 200, Evans thinking hard, making good plays. That's what you like to see. Who has one more? That's interesting. As we've noted previously, among the broadcasters currently commentating this game, the player with the most wins at the Crescent City Cup is Morris Greenberg.
Yeah.
Leading myself and Conrad 1 win to 0.
Yeah.
It was a good fight, though. And in every other Scrabble accomplishment or tournament, you guys would kill me, including Nationals wins.
Yep, no argument there.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next play. No, I'm just kidding. Morris, too self-effacing by half. I would expect big things from Morris in the near future. Dave plays Need for a ton of points. Looks pretty good to me. Not sure he needs to worry about leaving something more bingo prone when you're up by nearly 200 points. More than that after the play goes through.
So Dave has won this 3 times, and Evans has won once, not including today.
It's going to go 4 to 1. Okay, well.
And another thing now is that there are only 13 tiles left in the bag, so Evans can't even bingo 3 times in a row now to win in theory. So this game, unless there's some big non-bingo play that's a possibility, it looks like it's all wrapped up officially.
If I recall correctly, the only winner of this tournament from Collins who's not Dave or Evans won last year.
Well, this is the 7th?
This is the 7th one.
Oh, has Rob won twice?
No, there must be one other winner. Who's the other winner? I thought maybe it was Evan, but I'm looking. It does not appear to be Evan. Yeah, I'm not very good at counting.
Wow, so Dave has this tournament pretty much locked down. But, I mean, it should be noted that to even force this game to be meaningful, Evans had a great win over Dave that we brought to you last round. That was a wonderful game. So Dave is not invulnerable. He is not unbeatable, but certainly he's pretty close to it for most of us.
And Cesar is claiming in the comments that he won the tourney once.
Well, as they say, sometimes the only winning move is not to play.
Yeah, I feel like a winner.
As the famous movie line goes.
Yeah.
And perhaps that holds true for Cesar and Collins.
I found oxybenzone and ate a bunch of good food.
That's true.
Sounds like a great weekend.
Jeff Teveno was the other winner.
Okay.
Alongside Rob.
That's not too surprising.
Yeah. I think this was maybe the first time Jeff is not here.
Oh, Benji shooed. Uh-oh. I bet he's upset after that 1-point loss, which I don't know who wouldn't be upset after losing by 1 in a clinching game. So
yeah.
And there's a request in the comments to see the Quackle choices right now.
Thank you, Max.
Wow. That is some dedication to good Scrabble. Right. He used his W before. I was going to say that looks like a cool W setup, but he's just balancing and making another line for 7s, probably. Also keeping a second A to play under quiz, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's actually a somewhat surprising play. I guess Evans can't really bingo that many times left anyways, but that did block one of his better lanes at this point. But then there isn't that much he can do.
Yeah. So I know Dalt is a word in Collins. I don't think it's a verb though, right? Dalting doesn't sound right. Let me check. No. So it doesn't look like Evans has anything under quiz, which is too bad. Dave is primed to pop his J down.
Popping the J. Thank you, Aerolithbot.
With Joe.
Yes, thank you. It's a foster child, of course.
I do think Aerolithbot should be renamed Aerobot.
The Aerobot?
Yeah, Aerobot is a Collins word, right?
Aerobot is a... Yeah. But Cesar wouldn't do that.
So it's a good question by Eric. If you're Evans, I mean, if I'm sitting in Evans' seat right now, it's hard, obviously, to give your full focus, given that it's looking like you will not win this game and will finish second. But I don't know. I think for a lot of us, there's just a sense of personal pride on each and every turn to try to reason it out and make a good play. It's easier said than done, of course, when it's at the end of a tournament, 20 games of grueling Scrabble. But hopefully Evans can still take some consolation in making some good plays down the stretch of this game.
We have a request to get a power support on the Will Prediction Prize as well.
Someone did have like 453 to 240 or something, but there's still too many tiles left.
Okay, so there were a lot of predictions with very close scores between the two players. I can confirm right now, among the predictions submitted, the closest two to me look like Muffin with Tentacle is pretty close with a 510 to 330 prediction for Wiegand. That's
hilarious.
Good.
That's amazing.
And G1222 with a 475 to 285. If the game ends very low scoring, that could be good too. So it's looking right now, if I had to, is a slight favorite to win the prize. And that is not how I envisioned this going, because I know that something terrible happened to me, but I embrace it. I embrace the challenge.
Yeah, and these guys are great friends too. I mean, they've played, we played a club in Portland for years. I mean, they've played each other hundreds and hundreds of times, many times in situations like this even. They've played before. So, if your opponent plays Guessometer, it happens.
Yeah, you just gotta. Oh wow, look at that! We've got a great result. At least for if you're like me, if you're main Benji heads out there. Great news! He has just clinched the TWL division in the Crescent City Cup. That is great. Very happy for my friend Ben Schombrun. That's a great win for him. I know he's had a couple tournaments in a row that he didn't do as well as he wanted, and I had every confidence that that was just a, flash in the pan. And this proves it, that that was a fluke, and that this is the real Benji. Evans finds his bingo. Saluing.
It's also just really cool to see with Benji. He had at Nationals last year, he was kind of having a tough time holding on after a couple of close losses. That he's learning and his Scrabble game's maturing. And that's it's just really cool to see that progress by winning today. That's just it's really cool to see when when people mature as humans.
Yeah.
And we were witnessing yesterday a lot of just really sharp plays, and actually today also, right when you played OD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Benji blew us away several times with just very high level plays.
That took a few minutes
to me. Wow, that's awesome.
Internalize what was going on there.
Yeah. So we were impressed with G's play. He did have that one situation where he let Moiliest stay on the board, but that game was totally decided. It was just spread only. He might have even just been nice, because we all know Benji is just a really friendly, nice person. He may have just been nice and not wanted to make someone he was beating by 200 points stand up and, do the whole challenge routine. So
now, I think we can all agree, just for one sec, that Haya is
Haya is not the right play here.
It is the best play, clearly.
Oh, it is.
It would be a very elegant ending to this game.
Oh my God, I see. Wow, that would be so great, please. Oh, that would be funny. Elegance, triple. Wow, that would change a lot of the calculus with wins the coveted prediction prize.
But Dave elected to not go this route, though.
Yeah, he's played like a coward, really. He's played parry.
God, Dave.
There's no wildness in him.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but it's all right. Whatever floats his boat.
No primal screams from Dave Wiegand today.
Yeah, that's right. That's one of the great annotations ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Evans has a really cool play down from Gasometer. I remember seeing this word as the solution of a puzzle posted by Nathan Benedict on LiveJournal. That's how messed up I am that I remember that. He has the word agents from N1. Wow, solution of the puzzle was to play agents setting up regents, both of which are Colin.
Wow.
So my brain has some kind of worms in it, clearly. But
yep, that happens though.
Yes. So we'll see if he spots that. It's a 40-point play, which is pretty nice.
Could even maybe get an extra 5. I don't know.
Yeah, that's going to bring the score closer and closer to the prediction of Matthew Tunnicliffe. So
now, is it how do you determine? Is it the overall total number of spread points?
Well, yeah, I think I was just going to hand it over to Morris, whose job it is to know all about stats and numbers.
I was going to take the square difference of each player's predicted score and sum them. So whoever has the lowest square difference would be the closest, right? Because that's essentially saying you're really close to both players' score.
Yep, that sounds very reasonable.
Sounds like a good technique. So Evans is not looking like he sees agents right away. But that, is that, I would assume that just outperforms everything, right? Unless there's
he's probably going to open a, oh no. Sorry, there's no tiles left. Ignore me.
So
he'd probably normally open a.
Yeah, Agents is the best endgame play by over Axel. So, maybe just it's the end of a long tournament. I think it could be. We could overlook it if he doesn't find the absolute perfect play here. Sorry, 31 points. I'm seeing 37-8. Yeah, 29. I was right.
That's just the Grandmaster training.
As I so often am.
Picking up GE. Good start.
Right.
Yeah, he's 40% down.
Yeah, he seems to be. I feel like he's so close to finding it on his rack, and then he'll probably see the spot. Surely, if he does see it, it's going to come down instantly. Oh, just as a time check, Evans is down to less than a minute on his clock, so he's got to see it soon.
And then Dave's going to sit there for 9 minutes and 25 seconds. Stare at him.
Just to get that psychological advantage.
Just for the future.
For future, yeah, absolutely.
You know, for next month, really, because they'll be the top two seeds when we take on Hood River.
So Evans does a quick play that gives Dave an out, which, you know what?
Oops.
That's okay. The game is decided. There's no reason to really go nuts finding your absolute play here.
Right.
And boy, does it. I really don't think we even need to do any analysis, because the final score of the game, 498 to 325 in favor of Dave, according to our Quackles, and Tunnicliffe predicted 510 to 330.
Okay, well,
by far the closest. So, congrats to Matthew.
It would take a national champ to make a prediction. Let's be honest. That's
right. Another former champ. We've got so many, both in the booth and commentating. But hey, congrats to Dave Wiegand on started out really hot. He won his first 12 games, but Dave did eventually run him down. And congrats to Ben Schoenbrunn on his win in the TWL division. Really was a pleasure. And thanks to all the staff of the tournament the stream was great. It was a pleasure to be a part of it. And thanks to all the viewers. And last but not least, thank you to Conrad and Morris for being with me today, and Morris for throughout yesterday's games.
And also just like a quick thank you to Chris for doing this pretty much, volunteer, coming out and showing us what we can really do as a community going forward. I mean, this is really awesome. Extend a really big thank you to you for all of your time and your work. This has been really awesome.
Yeah, no question. It doesn't happen without Chris behind the scenes here. So thank you, Chris. And
I look forward to hopefully working with you again in the future,
Yeah, and that's actually a great plug to follow the NASPA stream as we get more followers.
Let's get this thing bigger. Let's get this thing better.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be...
just getting word that we may be having extra bonus content of a interview with one of the winners. I'm not sure who.
Oh, hopefully both Benji and Dave. They're both excellent interviewers. I'm sure Benji would be thrilled, but I guess that would probably be with our social media person, Mike Ginsell.
Right. So not sure if that's happening on this stream. Either way, we'll figure that out. So anyway, we'll take a brief pause, and then we'll try to get you some information on where to hear those interviews. Yeah. So thanks everybody for watching along, and
come to New Orleans next year.
Yes, absolutely. I know I'll be trying to.
I'll be here.
Great
and I'm playing.
All right, everybody. Broadcasters signing off.